good day, this 345th day. Meaningful moments, 365 days. This little boot, great treasured memory of going to the Christkindl market in Chicago and the fun that's held there with all that German style shopping of those little tents all set up and the roasted nuts and the hot cocoa, mulled streusel, and lots of other goodies. And it's always a delight. You know, it's so special because we think of those kinds of things when we go to celebrate something, whether it's an event like that or we're having a celebration at home, a birthday, a special occasion. We don't always think about those things on a day-to-day basis. And I'm here to share with you today the importance of sweet little surprises. When my children were young, I used to create all kinds of little surprises for them. Things that led up to different celebrations or bigger celebrations, or even things that led up to rites of passage. In so much of our society today, we don't really experience those kinds of shifts or changes, even in the course of the year from one season to the next. There's different processes that are happening for us, not just outwardly, but internally in our own development. And so as we celebrate these little changes that are happening for us, within us, and as we move more in connection with the seasons, nature, our own internal cycles, all of that is connected to these little sweet surprises that we can be celebrating and perhaps even indulging in to create that fun that isn't just about like a superficial way of experiencing an activity or a specific way that you present or express it. It's about this inward type of experience that you get to have in this joy that you can experience. And so when we do those things, and often, you know, if we have children, that's a little bit more in our mind because they're little and they're so full of wonder, but then we kind of lose that as we ourselves have gotten older and are not a child anymore, or as our children have gotten older and they're no longer children anymore. But it can happen now. The magic now can happen for you, regardless of what age you are, and in any relationship, especially the ones that you value deeply. So for me, it was a little bit of this sharing that happened, and I noticed that it was such a surprise to me that even now, a couple of days later, I'm still feeling elated by it. And that was waking up just a couple mornings ago when my husband said to me, I shut off the alarm, and I'm like, well, aren't you getting up to go to work? And I was already in the mode to get up, and he's like, no. He's like, today I'm staying home. And it was a surprise. And it was one of the best surprises ever. And of course we had to reconfigure some things because it was something that, you know, for him it was a surprise. I didn't know what was happening. I mean, for him it was a planned surprise. For me, I didn't know it was going to happen. And of course it was like, you know, having to arrange things, but so worth it because that was a sweet little surprise that happened. And later in the day, I got another little surprise as I was really, you know, hankering on this idea of having a cook. You know, I haven't had one in a long time. And suddenly, he must have been reading my mind because I went to pick up some work of something that I had to do. And as soon as I lifted up the paperwork, I saw a cookie sitting right there waiting for me. And it was one that he had deliberated on and was thinking about when would be the right time to surprise me with it. And again, and this was a real, literal, sweet little surprise, but it was so beautiful. And sometimes these things can be so simple. So the next time you're thinking about a loved one and just ways to shift that energy into this delight, into this joy, into this wonder of life and the opportunities that are present to us all the time. Think about picking up that rose for your loved one, creating a special little part to the meal to share, something that you may enjoy doing together, a spontaneous walk, some little surprise, filling up a bathtub for someone and putting bubbles in it, whatever that might be, lighting a candle, whatever it might be, in all the ways that you can create to come up with these sweet little surprises to enrich and embellish your experience of this beautiful life. For you today, my friends, in this Advent season as we prepare for the winter solstice and Christmas and whatever other ways you're celebrating it, I hope